Okay, so this is chapter U.S. enters. So the first question is, the United States managed to stay out of World War I for how many years? The United States managed to stay out of World War I for 3 years. Although many Americans sympathized with the Allied cause, few favored going to war. In general, Americans felt that what went on in Europe was of no concern to them. So 3 is the answer for number 1. When Germany resumed blank submarine warfare, the U.S. broke off diplomatic relations. Several things happened from 1914 on that gradually changed this viewpoint. Germany's invasion of neutral Belgium in 1914, the sinking of the Lusitania in 1915, and the effects of Allied propaganda slowly turned American opinion against the Germans. When Germany resumed unrestricted submarine warfare in February 1917, the United States broke off diplomatic relations. So that is when they started like refusing to talk to them, and in a kind of in a means to work together, so to stay out of the war essentially. Things just became hostile, is pretty much like diplomacy is when you work together, you compromise. So they were like, nah, we're done with you. So this is unrestricted. Paste. All right. The Zimmerman telegram tried to offer Mexico part of the U.S. that had been taken away from it if Mexico attacked the U.S. So, can somebody put the link in there? All right. American involvement in the war was assured even before the Germans gave free rein to their U-boats. In January 1917, the British intercepted a note sent by the German Foreign Secretary Arthur Zimmerman to the German ambassador in Mexico. The note instructed the ambassador to urge Mexico to attack the United States. In return for its cooperation, the Germans promised to restore to Mexico land in their southwestern United States that it had lost during the Mexican War some 70 years earlier. So that's Texas, Arizona, and New Mexico is what they lost. So they were like, hey, you work with us if America starts entering this war, and, when we beat America, then you can have some of this land back. The British forwarded the Zimmerman telegram to the U.S., and this other one is President Woodrow Wilson stayed neutral even after the ships were torpedoed. The British immediately forwarded the note to Washington, and Americans were outraged when 3 American cargo ships were torpedoed and sunk by German U-boats 2 months later. President Woodrow Wilson asked Congress for a declaration of war. After remaining neutral for 3 years, the United States joined the fight on April 6th. So that gives us a true and a false. And I'm actually going to read this telegram because they translated it into English, and it actually is not that difficult to read versus like some of the stuff that's written in the Enlightenment where you just want to like bang your head against a wall. All right, so the Germans sent this, specifically Arthur Zimmerman. We intend to begin on the 1st of February unrestricted submarine warfare. We shall endeavor in spite of this to keep the United States of America neutral. So they want to keep America neutral. They don't want them in the war. In the event of this non-succeeding, we make Mexico a proposal of alliance on the following basis. We make war together, make peace together, generous financial support, and an understanding on our part that Mexico is to reconquer the lost territory in Texas, New Mexico, and Arizona. So they're giving this deal to the Mexicans if the Americans do join in, then hey, will you be our ally? And this is what you get for being our ally. The settlement in detail is left to you. So if they wanted more or less whatever, they would have to, decide on that. You will inform the President of the above most secretly as soon as the outbreak of war with the United States of America is certain, and add the suggestion that he should, on his own initiative, invite Japan to immediate adherence, and at the same time mediate between Japan and ourselves. So, the deal here is that the ambassador should only tell the Mexican president of this kind of plan if America enters the war. So don't make this deal essentially unless they go into the war. It's like hey, we're planning for this as a just in case. And then start talking to Japan. Please call the President's attention to the fact that the ruthless employment of our submarines now offers the prospect of compelling England in a few months to make peace. So the idea here is it's like, all right, we're going to be essentially winning because of our submarines anyway. That's like the motivator for them to be allies, essentially. So that's what's happening there. So this is actually pretty easy to read and figure out if you had to. But anyway, this is going to make the Americans angry, obviously. And so that only adds fuel to the fire.